Hey creations, welcome aboard. I am back from the Dominican Republic and special announcement! Gonna say yeah. As some of you may know, March 6th is coming up and that is Ghana Independence Day. And in celebration of that, a social organization called PALS, which stands for Progressive African Leaders in the Bay Area, based in Oakland, is hosting Ghana at 60 Independence Banquet. And that will be on March 11th, which is that following Saturday. That starts at 6. Now, if you are interested in attending the event or learning more about it, just click the link below and it'll lead you to where you need to go. Pre-sales tickets start at $30 online, and then at the door, it'll be $35. Now, if you're like, oh, I don't want to go, you're not only paying for your ticket for admission, you are paying for a dinner, an authentic Ghanaian meal at 7. So get there maybe like 6:30, possibly 6:35, so get your seat, grab you a plate, and just, socialize and get to know the Ghanaian culture and the food and the music. It'll be a great experience, and I encourage all of you who are in the area to attend. I'll be there, so hopefully I can see you there. Alright, now let's get to this video. Welcome back to my channel. I just appreciate you supporting me, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. And yeah, just spread the good news around. Let's rewind and go back to how the process started. So I turned 25 and I was like, I need to go somewhere. A country that kept on popping up was Dominican Republic, and I was like, all right, I know a little bit of Spanish. As y'all saw, I had my little 1-2 Spanish. Let's talk about the flight. The booking the flight was a little bit difficult because I didn't know when the best time to book the flight was. I forgot what day it was. I think it was like August or September. And I just saw that price drop down to under $300 from where I am in California to the Dominican Republic. And I said, that's a book. It was going to be a 12-hour layover coming back from DR that was in Miami. And I was like, whatever. It's a cheap flight. I can suffer. And I know that some of the people I came with, they waited because they didn't want to endure that layover, which is definitely understandable. I believe they waited until like January. Their flight was like over $450, I believe. So compared to my under 300 to their over 450, I will take the L of the layover L. As far as like the whole experience of flying there, it was cool. Nothing too amazing and nothing too terrible. I met some cool people on the planes. I do talk to some of the people on planes because it's like, hey, we have this like 7-hour flight. Why not be friends for 7 hours? We stayed at an Airbnb, which was my first time staying at an Airbnb. I wonder why I haven't done that before. I often stay with people, people that I know. I travel to places that I kind of know people, so then I can get free accommodation. That's how you travel. But yeah, Airbnb was cool. I'll try and link it down below. The walk wasn't too bad from like the restaurants. I think maybe, I want to say like a 15-minute walk. I know that a lot of people often say like all-inclusive resorts, and for me, when I travel, I really try and be as local as possible. If your grandma wants to cook me food and I just met you that day, I'll probably go to your grandma's house. The all-inclusive resorts would hinder my experience of being more local. Of course, Airbnb isn't too off from it either. When I was talking to the people on the plane coming back, they stayed there and they were just like, yeah, we really didn't even leave the hotel because everything was in there. And I was just like, I need to get out and see this country. Like, I flew all this way, I want to see what this country's about. I got to, talk to local people, walking around and just seeing local people interact and sell things and all this other stuff. It was just like, it was great. It was a great experience, and for me, it was just like Ghana. DR is Ghana in Spanish. Of course, we're gonna have to do some fun activities, right? So the ones we did, as you've seen in the videos, were the zip lining, oh, the buggies and ATVing, Montaña Redonda, and Sauna Island. Those are the 4 we did. Now, the zip lining was great because of like our guide was just really personable. Shout out to Jean, yeah. He was just really personable. He knew like 9 languages. So he was over there speaking English, French, Spanish, German, Russian. Like he really tried to cater to everyone that was there. And it was great, that experience. I think that I wish there was a bigger rush when actually ziplining. So maybe ziplining overall is not my thing, or maybe I was on the wrong one. Connecting with the people that were there. Like I talked to this one guy from France. Him and his wife, they came and they, you know, they were telling me about their experience, which was cool. So I think interacting with people during the ziplining was good. And we did the buggies, and that was really fun. We went to this place kind of like in the middle of the, I don't know, like a farm, in the middle of a farm, where this guy named Leo was so interesting and taught us about Mama Juana, and he was telling us all types of stuff. We took the buggies to the cave, and I don't think I recorded that. Maybe I'll insert a picture. And in the cave, it was like you could go in the water, and I was down to go in the water. You know, I don't mind floating. This one lady was like, "You see those eyes?" And I was like, "What eyes?" And she was pointing. I couldn't see it, but she was pointing, and she was like, "Girl, you see those eyes?" And I was like, "No." And I was like, "What is it?" And she goes, "I don't know, but I'm not gonna stick around to find out." So that really, that changed my life a little bit. I was like, "Oh, I'm not gonna go in this water because I'd like to get out of the water if I go in." And then the next excursion we did, which was the next day, was Montaña Redonda. And for me, I really loved that one because it was such like a relaxing activity for us to do. Like, doing the swings was great and stuff, but then like, there was just like a chill downtime. You know, y'all saw we played dominoes, people were on the hammocks, you know, just relaxing. It was like we didn't really have to put too much effort into like being engaged in the activity. It was just like being on top of that mountain was amazing, and the people who own it are like angels. The woman who owns it with her husband, I forgot her name, she, you know, with the tour that we booked, she made us a home cooked meal, or like an authentic Dominican meal. And unfortunately or fortunately for us, one of the people in our group doesn't eat meat. So, but she was okay with eating fish, so we were stuck with the fish. Then we did the island, and Sauna Island is the most beautiful place I have seen. The sand is beautiful, white and warm, and then the water is like a gradient blue, like it changes blue. Wow, like DR, I see y'all. And we got like a boat to get to Sound Island, and the boat was like a little party boat. One thing I will recommend about the excursions is, aside from the mountain tour, I would say wait till you get there to book your tour, because you could probably, you know, it's easier for you to bargain. And let's talk about the food. Like, okay, you've done your excursions, you've done worked up an appetite, you're hungry. What is there to eat in the DR? Oh, I didn't even mention that we stayed in Punta Cana. We cooked some of the days, like we stayed in and we cooked some of the days, and then we also went out to eat, because the selection was often Mexican, and Dominicans are not Mexican. However, they play into that stereotype of like, oh, all Latin culture is Mexican food. So there were numerous Mexican restaurants. Dang, guys, like I'm really trying to find like an authentic Dominican meal. The actual Dominican food, like when we ate the food on the mountain, it was bland. It needed some hot sauce, it needed some seasoning, it needed a little more oomph to it. So lastly, I want to talk about like, how are the Dominican people, Dominicanos y Dominicanas, how are they doing? Our interactions with the with people in the Dominican Republic was positive. I think that overall, you know, we were in a touristy area, so they were really trying to like interact with us to make sure that we, you know, spent money, and that's expected. There were moments of like subtle racism, right? So, and especially because, like, not only are we tourists, but like we're black and a lot of us are dark skinned. There were times where we would have, like, in groups or something like that, some of the tour guides or those assisting the tour guides would interact with white tourists different than they would interact with us. It ain't nothing new that I ain't seen in the US, to be honest. I mean, I sit there, I'm not gonna let that ruin my trip. I'll be like, dang, that sucks. Oh well, like, I'm still gonna have a good time. And the tourists themselves, like the white tourists, they were fairly racist too. Some guys from like Europe, and they were not super friendly, which is cool. Like, I'm not everyone's cup of tea, and just like you're not everyone's cup of tea. Of course, you got to deal with the machismo over there. So, you know, we're girls, so everyone's gonna approach us like, oh, morenas, morenas, and I still don't even know if that's a derogatory term or not. And I'm just like, okay, like I understand it's the culture too, and if it's a derogatory term, I'm not with it. A lot of the guys used to hit on us and like give us rights, which that part, I cannot complain. I enjoyed that part. Shout out to being a girl. And another thing I noticed was, you know, the Dominican Republic shares land with Haiti. So half is Haiti, half is Dominican Republic, and of course right there, that alone, you know, has beef that I'm not going to get into. Like, there were a lot of Haitians in the Dominican Republic. The Dominicans were, you know, are often racist and rude to the Haitians because of, you know, how dark they are and their skin color. And when talking to our tour guide for the Sauna Island, he was like, yeah, you know, Dominican, you girls, first of all, he said, you girls look Dominican, right? And we're like, okay, like, thank you, sure. But then he followed by saying, the Dominicans, they're like 11% Afro, like African descent, and about like, I don't know, he said 20% European and 20% Taino and all this other stuff. And I was just like, 11%? Are you sure? I seen a lot of Dominicans that look like me. Racism is there. I mean, it's everywhere, especially if you're a black, dark-skinned individual. The trip itself was amazing. I loved the trip. I can give it a cool 7.5. Possibly 8. Thank you all for watching, and I hope to see you in my next video.